G'day, I'm Ray. Welcome to All About Life in Thailand. This video is about the 11 most dangerous creatures in Thailand. Okay, so let's just jump in. Sadly, other than drunk and idiotic drivers, there are a few other dangerous creatures in Thailand that I think every visitor should be aware of. From the snakes, oh I hate snakes, that occupy the forests of central Thailand, to the sharks that swim through the Thai Gulf. I'll tell you about 11 of the creatures you really need to watch out for. I'll tell you about what creatures should have you spinning and running a mile. You'll know about the venomous serpents and the formidable creepy crawlies that lurk in the land between the Mekong and the River Kwai. Okay, let's go. First, we have the monocled cobra. There are plenty of snakes in Thailand. Some are harmless, some could leave you paralyzed or even dead. So it's definitely worth familiarizing yourself with all things snakes. The most deadly snake in Thailand has to be awarded to the monocled cobra. This snake's venom can kill with just one bite, and sadly, they are the most common snake found across Thailand. The second deadliest snake in Thailand is the blue krait or Malayan krait. The Malayan krait packs a mighty punch and can kill within 24 hours if left untreated. But all is not lost. If you keep out of their way, are mindful, and watch where you go, you shouldn't run into any problems. If you see a snake, just don't pick it up. Rather, keep a wide berth. Other snakes include red-headed keelbacks, Malayan pit viper, mangrove pit viper, small spotted coral, and lots more. Okay, next, let's talk about scorpions. Oh, bloody hell, I've seen some big ones here. I never knew scorpions got that big. But anyway, when most people hear the word scorpion, they tend to think of super dry deserts as well as their gnarly looks. They're pretty easy to spot with their 8 legs, giant pincers and curled tail with a pointed stinger. You may not know that these creatures can be found all over Thailand. In fact, there are 18 different species and subspecies across Thailand. Although their sting is no worse than a bee or wasp sting, they can still prove fatal if you're allergic to them. Should you encounter one on your travels, you should be relatively safe. But if you do find that one has stung you, seek hospital treatment as soon as possible so that it can be disinfected and you can be given effective treatment. This is even more important should you develop an allergic reaction, as this could potentially kill you. Scorpions are nocturnal animals, which means that when you're going out at night, keep your eyes peeled. You never quite know where one might turn up. Okay, let's talk about some sharks. In the waters off the coast of Thailand, you are likely to find at least 9 species of shark. Although most of them are more friend than foe, it's still worth noting that they are predatory creatures. There are several different types of sharks that can be found in the waters around Thailand. Some are less harmful than others. The sharks that pose the biggest risk to humans are nurse sharks, bull sharks, tiger sharks, reef grey sharks, or grey reef sharks, and black-tip reef sharks. All these sharks pose some risk to human life. And the best way to minimize the chances of an attack is to exercise caution, or at the extreme, stay out of the water. Try not to do anything that could provoke them or make them feel threatened. If you are diving and happen to see a nurse shark or something similar, it's best to give them a wide berth and make no sudden movements, as this could bring their attention to you. But you'll be safe in the knowledge that shark attacks in Thailand are extremely rare, and they will only attack if confused or threatened. Okay, rockfish, also known as scorpionfish, are normally found on coral reefs in Thailand's water. However, you'll be lucky if you spot one while diving or snorkeling, as they are masters of disguise. There's one type of rockfish that will be easier to spot than the others, and that's the tasseled scorpionfish. All rockfish are relatively inactive during the day and feed at night. This could be one factor as to why they are hard to spot. If you do decide to go snorkeling, either go with a guide or be extremely careful. Their venom paralyzes their prey, and you can imagine what it'd be like to be paralyzed when you're out snorkeling. If you're unfortunate to get stung by one, beware of the symptoms, which include intense pain, swelling, numbness, bleeding, tingling, and blistering around the wound. In more serious cases, it can cause vomiting, shortness of breath, seizures, and in the worst case, death. Although this is extremely rare, it's worth keeping your eyes open and taking notice of any warning signs in case you're unaware you were stung. Next on the list is the red lionfish. Lionfish have a very distinctive striped body and spines, making them relatively easy to spot when scuba diving around wrecks or coral reefs. An adult lionfish can grow up to about 18.5 inches in size, whereas a baby lionfish won't be much bigger than half an inch. Although they are beautiful to look at, they're highly venomous. Considered one of the most dangerous species of fish on Earth, it's worth exercising caution around those buggers. Should you be unlucky enough to get stung by one, you may experience some or all of these symptoms: extreme pain, fever-like symptoms, headache, dizziness, diarrhea, and difficulty breathing. It's very uncommon that anyone will die from a lionfish sting. It's advised that you seek medical attention immediately following a lionfish sting to limit the chance of infection, and for stronger painkillers if you need them. My nemesis as a child, jellyfish. The most common and deadliest jellyfish in Thailand is the box jellyfish, aptly named due to its cube-shaped body and long tentacles. They are a highly dangerous invertebrate species. There are several different types of box jellyfish, which include the Carukia barnesi, Malo kingi, and Chironex fleckeri. They are nimble and fast, and unlike other jellyfish, they are very capable of navigating around obstacles and swimming swiftly to their desired location. Box jellyfish are considered one of the most venomous and deadly creatures in the world. The most common is the Chironex fleckeri. According to the National Ocean Service, if you're stung by a box jellyfish, you may experience paralysis, cardiac arrest, and even death, all within minutes of being stung. But don't let this put you off swimming in Thailand's tropical waters. For the most part, jellyfish will avoid you. If you see one washed up on the beach, avoid it and just leave it alone. Seek immediate emergency medical attention if you're stung or suspect you have been stung. The ways to treat a sting from a box jellyfish include removing all the traces of the sting from the body and rinsing the area for at least half a minute with vinegar to help stop the spread of the venom. Keep an eye on the person who is stung and administer CPR if needed while waiting for the emergency service. Okay, dogs. Now, I can honestly say that other than a friend of mine whose dog I thought I knew that bit me, I haven't had a problem with a dog in Thailand. And there are an estimated 1 million stray dogs in Thailand. Almost everywhere you turn you'll see at least one stray. Most of them are scruffy and unwanted, but you'll often find them wandering alone. It's quite a sad sight. Although they look relatively cute and approachable, you may want to think twice. Most of them are mellow and harmless, but you may get the odd one that isn't. They might think that your approach is threatening and could snarl, bark, or even bite. Although they are not the most dangerous animals in Thailand, they do pose a big risk to human life in the form of diseases, infections, and the possible transmission of rabies. Experts predict that 1 in 10 stray dogs in Thailand have rabies. Attacks on humans are pretty rare, but it's not unheard of. Being careful around them and moving away backward from them should any snarl or show aggression is a wise move. Speaking in a firm and assertive tone can also prove beneficial when it comes to telling a stray dog to go away. If you shout at them, you are more than likely going to make them more agitated, increasing the risk of an attack. And by the way, the word for go, which most dogs will understand in Thailand, is bye. Okay, next we will talk about these ruddy centipedes. Of all the bugs, animals and wildlife in Thailand, the giant desert centipede is by far the creepiest. Now, how it got its name in a tropical country, I don't understand, because we certainly don't have any desert in Thailand. Anyway, they grow up to 20 centimeters long, and these creatures can be found at ground level all over Thailand. The most common places to find these creatures are under rocks, tree logs, damp foliage, or partially buried in damp soil. They have also been known to shelter inside of shoes, so you might want to check them before putting them on. If you come across one of them, and you'll know you have by the distinctive red colouring on their legs, you're best to treat it with caution. However, they are not likely to attack unless provoked or threatened. Their front legs have adapted to act as pincers, which they use to catch and kill their prey. The pincers contain venom, which is injected into their prey to kill them, and although it won't kill a human, it can still leave you pretty sore for up to 5 days afterwards. Other symptoms include swelling, bruising, and in some cases, difficulty breathing and a rapid heartbeat. Their bite is said to be more painful than that of a snake or scorpion, so watch out. Alright, all those cute little devils, the monkeys. Thailand is home to many species of monkeys, but the most common is the macaque. The average Thai macaque is about 2 feet tall, so you'd be forgiven to think that these monkeys are cute and friendly. Macaques are found in very high numbers within tourist hotspots, which makes humans prime targets for attacks and thefts if they are not careful. The monkeys in most of the tourist spots are used to being fed by tour groups, so they are often seen stealing food from people's hands, even if you aren't offering it. The most harm that a monkey can do to a human is a scratch or bite, and if this happens, you will need to get it looked at by a medical professional who can clean it up and give you a tetanus injection. Also, be wary of mating season and stay away from nursing mothers, as they could see your friendly advances as a threat. Okay, so next on the list is spiders. Now, if you're an arachnophobe, you might not want to know this, but Thailand is crawling with our 8-legged friends or foes. In fact, there's no shortage of them. There are several different types of spiders, including black widows, tarantulas, huntsmen, and giant orb spiders, all of which look super creepy and scary. You may come across a huntsman spider in your kitchen cupboards or sink, and you may even be surprised by one scurrying across the floor of your apartment. Luckily, deaths from spider bites are very rare. However, they do require treatment. If left untreated, a spider bite can become infected. Their bites can be painful, and if bitten by a black widow, one of the most dangerous spiders in the world, you may experience muscle cramping, fever, breathing difficulties, exhaustion, and swelling around the wound. These symptoms can occur days after the initial bite, so it's worth keeping an eye on yourself, and if you experience any of these symptoms, go and seek advice from a medical professional. And everybody's favorite that you just can't seem to get away from, mosquitoes. These pesky, annoying little insects are found all over Thailand, no matter the time of the year. Their numbers tend to increase during and after the rainy season, which is June to October, due to puddles of water that remain. You will tend to find more mosquitoes in the evening, as it tends to be slightly cooler. No one is immune to getting a mosquito bite. In fact, some are just a little luckier than others. Mosquitoes don't pose a huge risk to humans, but it's worth noting that some mosquitoes can carry tropical diseases such as dengue fever and malaria. And believe me, you do not want dengue fever. The symptoms for dengue fever differ from those of malaria, so it's worth knowing what both of them are so that it's easier to spot should you start to feel ill. The best way to limit your risks of being bitten is to wear mosquito repellent, light citronella candles in the evenings, and in some places make sure you have a mosquito net when you go to bed. So, although snakes are considered one of the most dangerous animals in Thailand, second only to drunks and idiots behind the wheel, they are in fact relatively harmless. Although there are more than 200 species of snakes throughout Thailand, the chance of you encountering one is pretty slim, but definitely not uncommon. In fact, snakes are more scared of us than we are of them and will more than likely stay out of your way. I was watering the garden the other day, and just when I started to water one spot, this bloody snake came out from under a pile of rubble, and thankfully it was trying to get away from me. So I didn't have to bother, I just squirted it with the hose and it kept moving. There are also snakes in Thai waters, and yes, they are considered one of the most dangerous animals in Thailand. However, they do not pose a huge risk to humans. They tend to like shallow areas around coasts and islands. Sea snakes like to be left alone and will not attack unless provoked. So if you happen to see a snake in the water, leave them alone. Swim the other way and just keep your distance. Yes, there are crocodiles in Thailand. However, it is rare for you to see one as they tend to stick to the national parks. Their numbers have been declining due to a loss of habitat and commercial hunting for their skin. There have been sightings of a crocodile on some of the beaches on the island of Phuket, so it's best to keep your eyes peeled, and if you do happen to spot one, try not to get too close. There are several species of venomous spiders in Thailand, the most venomous one being the black widow. Although small, this spider can leave a pretty nasty bite. Luckily though, they will only bite if disturbed. Other venomous spiders include the huntsman, the brown widow, the yellow sac spider, and the cobalt blue tarantula. Okay folks, that's it for another video. Your support means everything to me, so if you find value in my content, follow the channel and turn notifications on. Give me a like, comment, and share. If you'd like to help me with my expenses, click the link in the description and buy me a coffee. Okay, bye for now.